What's good, everybody? Back with another video. And today I want to talk about something besides the gym. I feel like when I make these videos, that's all I really talk about, but that's not what I intended to do when I first started making these videos. It was about becoming more of a well-rounded individual, because I'm not going to say that the gym didn't help me accomplish that, because it was a big part of me becoming the person that I am today, becoming more confident, becoming more disciplined, becoming more conscientious, whether it's being conscious about the food that I'm eating, the exercise that I'm performing, the exercise that I'm not performing, things of that nature, and just being a little bit more focused on what I'm trying to achieve. And a lot of it did start with the gym, but I wouldn't say that it started with the gym itself. It started with reading and watching the content, because if you want to become a certain person, or even become the person that goes to the gym on a consistent basis, on a regular basis, then you have to take in that information. You have to, I guess most people would say, is protect your environment, protect that mind that you're trying to develop, because you want to start reading the information, you want to start doing the research, you want to start watching the content that's gonna help mold you into that person that you want to become, whatever kind of person you want to become. And like I said, I didn't want to make this video strictly about the gym, but the gym is a big part of my life. It's one of the reasons that I did get into content creations, because I wanted to become a little bit more consistent at the gym. And I knew that if I began to make the content, then there would be some accountability from y'all guys, not just from me. And so that's one of the reasons that I started doing that. But what I was trying to say is that you want to start watching the content that will help you mold you into that person, because it's easy to get distracted, and it's easy to start watching these other videos that come across our feed that are distracting, that are quick to grab our attention. And it's hard for us to be, I guess you have to be conscious about what you're watching. And like I say, that's where the gym helped me out a lot, is just by being conscious of the food that I was eating. Now I'm conscious about the food that my brain is eating, what my brain is consuming. And you have to be aware of this when you're watching whatever comes across your feed, because I'm not going to say that I don't scroll. I do have wallpaper on my phone that says stop scrolling, because it's a reminder to myself every time that I get on my phone that I need to minimize the amount of time that I spent on my phone. And so I catch myself scrolling. I'm just like anybody else. And the way that social media is designed is, it's designed to grab our attention and hold our attention, because the more time that we spend on our phones, the more people that are on whatever platform that it may be, and it helps them generate a profit. And that's the way that it's designed. It is something that we have to be aware of. And so when you catch yourself getting distracted and you're watching videos that you're not supposed to be watching to become the person that you're supposed to be becoming, then you need to tell yourself, what I tell myself is just like, hey bro, you're scrolling again. You need to stop watching these videos, put the phone down. Or if you're going to be watching content, then you need to at least be watching educational content that's going to further you along and help you build that mindset that you're trying to build. And so it's difficult. It takes time, just like anything else. You have to build that habit. You have to be disciplined. And like I said, that's where the gym helped me out a lot, because a lot of the things that I learned at the gym can be applied anywhere else outside of the gym. And once you begin to learn that, that's when you'll really start to see improvements. And like I say, it's not all about the gym. I know people go to the gym and they want to see gains, they want to see their body change, but what's going to change first is the way that you think. And in order for your mind to think, you have to protect that environment, whether it's you watching the content or the people that you're talking to. And I know that it's difficult, because you're trying to grow as an individual, and a lot of your friends aren't going to want to change with you. Everybody's we're a product of our environment. We're not even aware of that. We spend all this time at work, for the most part, more than we do at home. And so after a while, you tend to become, there's that saying that you are the 5 people that you hang around with the most. And so you start becoming a product of that environment, whether you choose to or not. After a while, if you work there for years, then you can only hold out for so long. After a while, you start losing ground. And it's something that it's not just necessarily at work. I find myself doing it with my mom too, because I have to explain to her about my diet when I go, of course she's my mom and she likes to feed me. And I find myself consistently having the same conversation with her about why I can't take food home with me. As much as she wants me to take a plate home, she loves to cook. There's always plenty of food. That's one thing that I can't complain about when I go there, but there's too much food. And a part of me growing up, I was taught that we should never throw away food. And I was taught that I should finish the food that was on my plate. And I'm not gonna blame it completely on that, but I am gonna say that that was one of the reasons that I would overeat, because sometimes I wouldn't even be hungry anymore and I would eat just to finish the food that was on my plate. And of course, I always had that option of putting the plate aside and coming back to that plate later on. But I was young and I wasn't really so focused on fitness as I am now. But now that I'm more aware of it and I'm more conscious of it, it is something that I think about when I'm at her house, is that, well, one, I can't take that food home with me. And even though I can't eat all of the food, doesn't necessarily mean that it should go to waste, because there's plenty of people out there that don't have anything to eat. And it's still something that I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna stick to my diet when I'm there, be a little bit more disciplined about my diet when I'm there. Even though it is supposed to be my cheat meal when I go there, I specifically reserve that day for a cheat meal for that reason, because I'm gonna go to my parents and my parents aren't on a diet the way that I'm on a diet, and they would enjoy eating. I mean, sometimes I don't even enjoy eating the food that I'm eating when I'm on a diet, but it has to be done. And so when I'm there, I find myself losing ground because she does it so much. She offers me all this food, and sometimes I'm not even aware of the fact that I'm starting to lose ground. It's easy for her to, I guess one of the things that I can say is that every time I go there, there's food that's left over. And so today's Monday. If I go in on Saturday, there's gonna be food left over from today, and she's gonna be making more food, and she's constantly cooking every single day. That there's always food there, and there's always fresh food, and there's always some new food to eat. But I have to be conscious about not throwing that food away, is because a lot of that food does go to waste, and at the same time I can't eat all of the food. So it's something that I'm trying to figure out. It might be something where I just have to, if she does offer me a plate, I'm gonna have to start taking it to work and then just give it to the guys at work, because we shouldn't be letting food go to waste like that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I should overconsume, because of course me being on a diet, it's not gonna help me out. It's not gonna help you out if you find yourself in that situation. Hopefully you have the luxury of still having your parents. A lot of people out there don't, but I'm blessed and I have both my parents. So that's a story for a different video, and I feel like I'm kind of rambling. I'm going off subject here, but that's one of the things that I do want to go a little bit, I guess, deeper into in the future with these long form videos on YouTube, because it's something that I can't do on those short form videos. Short form videos, they're just meant to be quick, provide the information and then move on. That way I can scroll to the next video. But my intention when I made these videos meant for people to listen to when they were at work, because that's how I take in my information. I'm at work doing what I gotta do, and then I'm also listening to the content. And that's what this video was supposed to be about, is that when you are trying to become that person that you want to be, is that you want to stay focused on that and try not to lose ground because of the environment that you're in, because it's easy to do it. You won't even realize that it's happening, but it does happen. And so that's one of the ways that I do try to stay centered and on task when I'm at work, is that I listen to the content. If I can't watch the content, then I'll listen to it when I'm at work. That way I don't start losing everything that I've gained, mindset wise. All that knowledge that I've taken in over the last couple of years, I make sure that I don't lose it, because it's easy to start losing that ground and you start reverting into that person that you used to be. And next thing you know, you're having all these snacks, you're going out, you're drinking, you're going out partying, you're smoking again. It's one of the things that I had to stop to be more consistent at the gym. And of course, if you're trying to become a better person, drinking wasn't helping me out and smoking wasn't helping me out. So it's something that I had to stop doing. And it all takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It's difficult. You're going to have to go through a process of probably losing your friends, because a lot of people aren't ready to make that transition into becoming a better version of themselves. I'm having a hard talking today. A better version of themselves. And it was difficult for me. And I'm sure that it's difficult for you as well. I don't think that it's something that's easy on anybody. Nobody is just comfortable leaving their environment and trying to become somebody that they've never been, because you don't know if you're going to survive. And I'm not talking about living and dying. I'm not talking about in that literal form, but I'm talking about spiritually, mentally. You don't know if you're going to survive, because it's going to be a lot different. Somebody that you never been before. And you have to change the way that you think, and you have to adapt. You have to become that better version that you've always wanted to be. And with that being said, I know that I went a little bit off subject today, but it's all good. There's going to be plenty of videos that I'm going to be making in the future. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, send them my way. Any video ideas, any video recommendations, something that y'all want to hear me talk about, let me know, man. Send me a comment. And with that being said, I'll talk to y'all next one. Peace.